Hi.
Hi, we meet again.
So now we're in the office of KitaJuga. That's a project that has started about the same time as the massage center, Frangipani. It's in the same building still at this moment. I think the guys from the project, the field workers, have explained just now a little bit about the goals and what their experiences were working in the field.
Yeah.
For our head goal, like main goal, is like working via or with people with a disability for people with disabilities in the villages. So what we do here in this project is I've trained people with certain people with a disability to become field workers and provide information on disabilities in the villages, because we found that the information is often not reaching the people with disabilities in the cantons, in the villages. And because of that, there was no early detection, there was no early intervention. People got more disabled than they should be because of lack of treatment or lack of employment, lack of giving them possibilities as well, opportunities. Maybe the family didn't really involve them in community activities, all that stuff. I encountered it when I was working as a VSO volunteer here. I started 5 years ago as a physiotherapist in a rehabilitation center, and also 1 year as a roving volunteer to provide awareness training on disability on Flores and Timor and Zumba. And from that, after those 3 years of work experience in Flores, I've learned that one big thing that is lacking here is the lack of information. Lack of information on when the operations by Australian doctors are, where, how is it funded.
Yeah.
If people don't know it, they are too scared to come or too scared to do anything about their disability, and they lose possibilities. So that after those 3 years, I started thinking, okay, besides the massage center, that was one idea of empowerment of disabled people. I started thinking, what can we do? How can I use my skills and knowledge in teaching other people to go into the villages? Instead of me going into the villages as a physiotherapist, I decided it would be much better if disabled people themselves would go into the villages and be sort of a buddy for other children or people with disabilities, and the guys here, they can share their experiences with them. I cannot share my experience of being a person with an impairment or disability. So they have the advantage as well that they have the local language. I cannot speak Bahasa Manggarai, I can speak Bahasa Indonesia, but Bahasa Manggarai is very helpful when you talk to the people in the villages. So we started about the same time as the massage center, but the massage center was formed or put together a little bit quicker, because I spent a lot of time training a group of about 30 people, I think, also from the rehabilitation center. I trained them in what kind of disabilities are there, how can you prevent them, how do people in villages accept people with disabilities or not, what kind of challenges do they meet in the villages. But I didn't only teach them, they taught me as well. So they gave me a lot of input, and that was all material that I could use to make modules or to develop certain ideas that we could use here. So from zero actually, they now know a lot more about disability. They know basic physiotherapy methods, like anti-contracture movements. They know, what is spastic cerebral palsy. They know what is cleft lip and how does it start and in which week. And so they know a lot of technical information already. And now, I think in the last few months, since June, a little bit, we started going more into the villages. They started more going into the villages, and then they came back with stories of disabled people they have met, or maybe they met the Kepala Desa, which is the head of the village, and they explained to the Kepala Desa what the program is, and the Kepala Desa then agrees or doesn't agree, or maybe makes a recommendation letter. So with that recommendation letter, they go to the RT's, which are the not district.
I was saying like
The area heads. And
the area that is in charge of the Kepala Desa or
Kepala Desa is in charge of several areas, and every area has a main man or woman, but mainly the men.
Yeah.
And those men know exactly where disabled people are, who has a child with a late development or something.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
They know most. They don't know all because some children are still hidden behind doors. So then, with the agreement of the head of the village, they go then via the head of the area visit the families at home, and they talk about what kind of group this is, why they are there, why they give information, why it's so important, and what kind of disability the child has, and then they give as much information as they can, and they ask as much as possible questions to form an idea of what is the main problem in this family. Is it a disability, or is it something
Are there
else?
other things?
Is it something economic? Is it something like self-esteem? Is it not included in the society? Are the rights met or not? Can somebody go to school, yes or not? All that stuff. And then they come back to the office and we talk about the case studies here, and they make pictures as well, so I can see actually the patients, and I ask them like, okay, does this patient, can he still sit, or can he only roll around or not? So via discussing case studies, they also learn, and they go back to the villages again, to the same village, to the same home, and explain, give more information. Every time they visit, they give more information, and they come back with more information. So in a way, I'm more of a backup for them, medically. But they are the ones who do it because that's the main goal. By disabled people, for disabled people. It's the same as the massage center.
And are they going out every week, or how do you try to work it out? Do you go to one area for a week or two, or is that?
Yeah, we have been in the last year. We have visited a certain amount of tryout areas. Some villages we visited twice, some only once yet. And we try different methods. We try to go via the Kepala Desa, via the village head. And one other method of going into the villages is via theatre or role play.
Right.
So we're trying, last year we have been trying out several methods. What is most effective and suitable. And sometimes, if we do role plays in one village, that leads to meeting the Kepala Desa, meeting the head of the area, and then still do the home visit. So it's all in one. But we want to find out the easiest way to work together with the communities. And we have still a lot to learn, and they still need to learn a lot about facilitating discussions and how to get the real topics above water. So it has been different. We have, in the proposal that we had, because we are funded by a Dutch government at this moment, partly, and the rest is funded by a Dutch foundation. So we have funding for 3 years, and at the moment in that proposal we wrote down Manggarai as the working area, but Manggarai is very wide. So definitely for the next time, we will write Manggarai Barat, which is just decided near Labumbajo, by Lemborg, But for now, for the last 2 years, it has been good because the tryouts we've done also in Dedi's village, in Bagal we've been near Roteng, and that we had connections. In certain
makes
spots,
a big difference,
and it makes a big difference for tryouts. We had, like we say, Jalan Masuk, like a way in. Which for learning makes it much easier because we started with 30 people